Why I quit my dream IT support job? Not for money. Have you ever had a job where everything looks perfect on paper, but in reality, it's draining, it drains your soul? Well, that was me. I used to work in IT. I worked in the city. So I worked in the city. I worked in IT in the city. I loved my job. I genuinely loved my job. I loved helping, people solve technical problems, and it was a great opportunity to build my career after graduating. However, I kind of like felt that behind the scenes, although it looked great, in front and I was enjoying it, I was loving it. I suffered, I suffered back pain, I suffered asthma, I was stressed, I was tired, I wasn't sleeping well. And also due to stress, I was stress eating, and I started putting on weight. So it kind of made me reflect, on my life, and it kind of started thinking about, that was a point where I started thinking about what kind of life do I want? What do I want to do? And then after a few years, working in IT, uh, so after working in IT for a few years, a life-changing moment. So after working in IT for a few years, a life-changing moment happened. My dad, who was only 53 years of age, suddenly, passed away. And that was a massive shock, to the system. And that made me question, it made me question if life can change overnight, then what am I actually doing? What am I actually doing with mine? I started looking into, how I can improve my health because, as like I said, I had a great job. I had, a successful job, good pay, holidays, a company car, travel. But this, incident with my dad, who was only 53 years of age, really made me question, what else, what else is life about? What can I do? So I started looking at various other options, career options, rather than looking for a career promotion. I started looking at like health, options. What can I do in health that can help me improve my own health, but also help me help other people. What I also realized is that physical pain, like pain isn't necessarily just physical. And at that time, obviously, the grieving process and stuff, my one of my cousins introduced me to a book by Louise Hay, where I think the title is "You Can Heal Your Life." And that book really helped me focus on my health and not like just career promotion, in the IT sector. So it made me, Louise Hay has a list of, all the illnesses or the difficulties, challenges that one has, and the emotion that's associated with that physical pain. So it made me realize that, physical pain, like my back pain and stress. I mean, stress is emotional, but weight, putting on weight, that kind of stuff wasn't. It wasn't just physical. There was an underlying problem why I was suffering these ailments. Um, so through Louise Hay, I discovered another book and another book. So I discovered quite a few books, which really helped me develop, like my personal development, like skyrocketed and it started growing. My emotional well-being and mindfulness, holistic health. So this kind of research led me to the holistic way of living, holistic way of actually working and helping people as well. So then that reading these books, Louise Hay and various other books on emotional well-being, mindfulness, personal development, gave me direction and guidance towards what's my purpose. So it made me realize my purpose is to help people, help people health and wellness, and obviously at the same time look after my own health as well. So I didn't like going to the gym, so I thought, okay, well, to improve my health, I'm not going to go to the gym. Um, but I wanted something where I was working and I was helping, I was improving my own health, and at the same time I was earning and helping other people. So this gave me purpose. So I resigned, everybody thought that was a crazy decision. I left a very, very secure, great job, in the city, and everyone thought I was, making a crazy decision. Because there was no guarantee, there's no guarantee. There was no safety net with me just leaving my job and pursuing, what from my heart made me, connect with my purpose intuitively, emotionally. Every being, every part of me made me feel connected to my purpose. It made me realize what my purpose is. So it was like, from my IT support job, and I booked a ticket to Thailand. I flew to Thailand and I took on a course. I studied Thai massage, traditional Thai massage. I felt very connected with that and I resonate with that because it's an ancient therapy, like over 2,500 years old, and it's still working, in this day and age, it still helps people improve their wellness. So and I had been doing a meditation, Vipassana meditation. So there was a connection. This was kind of like the founder of Thai massage is Buddha's physician. So again, I just felt like spiritually, I felt quite connected, to doing Thai massage. And it was fully clothed as well. So no oils, no creams, which opened, avenues for me to offer this treatment to a wide range, of people. Especially in the UK, at that time, people were very reserved, about being touched, about having a massage. So having something that was fully clothed was kind of like 50% of my way of attracting people, to what I was offering. Uh, and after completing my course up to the level of teacher training, so my intention was to run workshops and teach other people do Thai massage, become a Thai massage therapist as well. Going back to UK, I took on a short business course, and I realized, while I was developing my business in the wellness sector, uh, that doesn't pay bills, overnight bills. So it doesn't pay bills overnight. So I was like, okay, I need to do something else. I subsidized my income by taking on a part-time teaching job. I taught IT in a local college. And that subsidized my income while I built my health and wellness center. I built the health and wellness center, and the center, I built it to up to a level of I had 11 therapists, I had 11 therapists working out of there. And I made money, I made money, fantastic, great, good job. I was happy, I was healthy. However, it wasn't, as good as my IT job. And I realized, that I also wanted to, yeah, I didn't have a pension, being a massage, if you know any massage therapists and stuff, it's quite, building a pension pot can be quite challenging. So I wanted to find something else, to build my money pot. And a few years later, I met someone at an event, and she fortunately introduced me to a network marketing company. So network marketing, I knew nothing about network marketing. I didn't know such business structures existed. But the thing that attracted me to it is that it was health and wellness. So being passionate about wanting to help people, I was like, yeah, okay, great. I was skeptical to start with, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do this. I'm happy with my wellness center. But when I looked into it, in a bit more detail, I I could see it working. It helped me develop, a system where, not a system, but it already had a system in place where I could help people all over the world. So now my business wasn't just local, it wasn't just regional, it was international. Where I had with my own business, with the wellness center, although I had 11 therapists working from there, offering treatments and workshops, um, well, I was the boss, it was my vision, it was my idea. So I knew what to do. I knew how to solve problems, how to be there 24/7 if I needed to be there. Whereas with the network marketing, business, the health and wellness business, I soon realized, that I don't need the expensive premises. I don't need to employ staff. And I don't need to be tied in one location, to help people improve their health and wellness. And it was about, building education. Yeah. So it wasn't just about serving people and it wasn't just about business. It was about education. So I was building myself, again, I was learning more. I was learning communication skills. I was learning team development skills. I had a community, of people I was working with. So I love that, I love that there is a group of people who understand the business structure because they're doing exactly the same as you are. So they know where you're coming from, they know your struggles, they know your challenges. And there's always someone out there in the company who has faced the same challenges. So then you've got a solution, from someone who's experienced, in the field as well. And it was about improving, I was helping people improve both their health and income. With network marketing, you can help people, whoever's open to learning about wanting, more income, build their income financial freedom, then this is a great opportunity. So I was like helping people do two things, live all together, have a like a wholesome picture of a better quality of life. And what I realized is that, resigning from my job, that wasn't, the biggest risk I took. I think the biggest risk would have been if I stayed in the business. And success basically means very little, without health. So I don't know if my health would have improved or would it have got worse. I don't know, So yeah, it means very little, without health, you need to have good health. So, moving forward from there, today I am still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still serving. My journey continues, my journey to help more people improve their wellness and financial, situation. I still do that. So, after a few years in network marketing, I started questioning myself, is there a smarter way of doing network marketing rather than the traditional way? I mean, I enjoy the traditional way as well, but is there a smarter way? There's always if you keep looking after years, there can be a better way. So then I started investigating, can there be a better way? And is there a business with more freedom, that can give me more freedom? Um, and yes, to my wonderful surprise and astonishment, I discovered digital marketing and automation. So digital marketing and automation allows me to, again, help more people and provide a service, worldwide because everything is automated and with technology you have the scope of reaching a lot more people. And so I'm learning, I'm still learning my digital marketing and automation. I wouldn't say I'm the best at it right now. I'm still learning. I'm combining the authentic relationship building with the modern online systems. Uh, so, and it's great, I'm loving it. It's absolutely amazing. So the purpose, if you notice, my journey, the purpose evolves and it doesn't stay still. So I continue learning, I continue, adapting and finding better ways to serve more people worldwide and location freedom. So if, there is a way that people can earn an income, without location, cost, like I found, then it drives me, and I thrive. I thrive. The more people I help, the more so really it's, I feel good about helping people. So it's like ultimately you can call it an ulterior motive as well. Um, so watching second jobs. So, if you are one of those people that, stuck in your job and your bills are draining you, they're draining your soul, then remember, it's never too late. Align your life with the values that are important to you, and don't ignore that quiet voice. If you sit down for 5, 10 minutes every day, first thing in the morning or before you go to bed. Personally, I think first thing in the morning is ideal because your mind isn't cluttered with the day-to-day activities. So when you wake up, spend 10 minutes, 5, 10 minutes just sitting there in a quiet space, maybe have a notebook, and pen and write down what do you feel connected with? What do you enjoy? What do you like doing? What makes you feel like, yes, that's for me. Then write that down. Just remember, it's never, never too late. So if my story resonates with you, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your story. Um, and what moment changed the direction of your life? What moment, like mine was, my dad passing away at the age of 53. What was like your pinnacle moment where things changed for you? Please share, in the comments. And if you're interested in building, better health, greater freedom, and creating um, work that's from the heart, then please subscribe. Um, Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you watching this. I hope it's helped you in some way, some little way, or some major way. The only, this is only the beginning of the journey. So please enjoy your day.